and welcome back. Today I wanted to show you my at-home painting studio, if you will. I live in a one-bed, one-bath apartment in the city, and where I live is really expensive, but I think frankly rent everywhere is expensive. So this is the best I can do, is just this one bed, one bath, but I think I make it work. I paint here maybe once or twice a week, and it's also important to note that I am mobile with my painting studio. I also paint downtown at the art school that I go to, so I need to make sure that all of my oil painting supplies are mobile. So I wanted to show you how I manage that here in my apartment, but also how I kind of take those supplies on the go. So first, I want to start with the easel. The easel is a Meeden H-frame. It's convertible. I got it like 6 months ago. This is not sponsored, but I did find this through a lot of sponsored ads. But I have been using it for a few months now, and I really enjoy it. I find that it's really easy to move around my apartment, and it's also easy to adjust kind of how high it is. I have a couple of extra sections that I can use to make sure that the canvas is clamped, but I kind of am only using this right now. This here is a board that I got from Blick, the art store, and this is similar to what I do at paint class. We all have these kind of wooden boards, and we have the reference photo that we're painting from, and then also what we're working on. If you're curious, these mangoes are a painting that I've been working on. I posted a video a couple days ago showing a layer that I just painted over, trying to get the values more correct, but if you're interested, go and check that out. But I also have this big light here. I don't think it's plugged in, but this is something, oh, it is plugged in. Okay, cool. So I got this off Amazon a while ago because sometimes I paint at night, and of course it's dark. The light that I have here in my apartment, it's not super bright, so I need something supplemental. And I decided to try out this light just because I've seen other people use a light that's very similar to this, and I find that it's very bright. Let me pick it up and show you. See, it's very bright, and when you're working on the canvas, I find that the light is just too bright. And so I'm looking for an alternative. I've tried covering this in wax paper so that it's a bit less direct, but that hasn't quite worked out for me yet. If you have any suggestions on clip-on lights that would be helpful for painting at night or painting in a dark space, I would really appreciate that. This is pretty much where the magic happens when it comes to actually, putting paint on the canvas. Right next to my easel, I have this old table that I got off Facebook Marketplace when I moved into this apartment. It was not really in good condition, but it's okay. It has these extra leaves that I can kind of pull out, which comes in handy sometimes. I don't use them super often, but actually the person that I bought this from didn't give me all of the screws, and so it's missing no, it's not the screw, it was the washer. It's missing several washers, and so the table itself is super rickety. I used to use this thing for work. I used to be fully remote, and I would work from this every single day, and oh my god, when I tell you that thing is just insane. But I don't know, every once in a while I'll get on my hands and knees and adjust the washers that do exist because they get a little bit loose. But anyway, this is the table that I use. It's not really in the best condition. You can see here that I've kind of done a number on it the past couple of years that I've had it, but it wasn't in beautiful condition when I got it, so I don't feel that bad about it. Here I have this lamp that I got from IKEA, and how I will use this is I will kind of have my palette right here. I have this paper palette, but I also have a wood palette that I'll show you later. And you know, the palette's here, it's right next to the easel. So, you know, I mix up the paint, I'm using my brush, and then I'm coming here and I'm applying it to the canvas. And I find that that really works for me. This is kind of what I have out right now. The thing is, it's my cat Hazel, cat reveal. She's very old, she's like 20 years old. Hazel. There she is. She's very opinionated, but this is something that kind of stays where it's at. This does not move, this and the table. But let me show you the part of my paint setup that is mobile. All right, so when I am running to and from painting class, this is what I use to get me there. It's a Fjallraven backpack in yellow ochre. I have like a little Miffy bag charm, and this is actually a keychain from the Musée d'Orsay. My partner got it for me. Let me just say, I got this backpack to take all of my work stuff to and from the office, and very quickly I started using it for my painting supplies, and it's kind of cooked. Like, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but like something spilled recently and it's kind of got like these oil stains. I have like literally like oil paint on this backpack. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of, I can't use it for anything else now. It's just my art supply backpack. And if I could go back in time and rethink that decision, I don't know if I would use such an expensive backpack for, you know, something that's gonna ruin it a little bit, but it is what it is. I can't change it. So first and foremost, I have my oil paints. I have two of these little blick bags, and one of them is to hold kind of the smaller oil paints. Oh boy, I don't know if that's gonna focus, but it's holding the smaller paints. And I have another bag that holds bigger tubes of paint. A funny story about these paints is when I was starting my painting classes, my instructor insisted that we buy the artist grade pigments. You know that there's like student grade oil paints and then there's artist grade oil paints. So the student grade paint uses less pigment and that's why it's cheaper. But at the same time, you have to use more paint in order to get the kind of coverage that you're looking for. So, you know, my instructor was like, just buy the artist grade paint, save your money. But I did not realize that for Winton and Newton, that like these kinds of tubes with kind of the silver tops, that's the student grade paint. And I thought it was the artist grade paint because, like, honestly, these are more expensive than a lot of the other paints at the art store. And so I bought like all of my paints student grade on accident. And then my instructor told me like halfway through the class, like, why are you buying these student grade paints? And I was like, huh? So I had to go back and spend a lot more money buying artist grade paint. I'm planning on using the student grade paint, but I just have them at my partner's house so that I can paint there. Moving on, I have my little portable solvent tank. This kind of has clips so that I don't have to worry about it leaking when I'm running all over the city. I really enjoy this. I now use this at home. I don't think you really need more than one. Okay, next I have this little plastic baggie where I have my red square. This helps me discern values more easy. This is something that my instructor gave us. Really, he sold it to us for $2. It's really helpful. I can just use this and see values more clearly than just squinting. And I also keep that with my like paint rag. You can see here that I've used this pretty extensively to clean my brush off of, but I keep that in a little plastic bag so that, you know, paint doesn't get all over the inside of my backpack, but like it's already kind of painted, so I don't know. I'm trying not to make it worse. Next, I have the Master Brush Cleaner and Refresher. Oh my God, if you're new to oil painting, or I don't know, if you've been a self-taught painter, this stuff is really great for cleaning your brushes. I didn't learn about this until like a year into oil painting, and yikes. You gotta take care of your brushes. You gotta take care of your brushes. I'll die on that hill. Next, I have, let's in that same vein, I have this brush shaper liquid. So it's kind of this starchy liquid, and after you wash your brush, you dip it inside of the brush shaper, and then you kind of like shape the bristles, and that way, you know, when you're ready to use your brushes again, it's not splayed from like using it really aggressively. Kind of a lifesaver. Finally, I have this little jar where I keep my medium. This is actually a jar of Madagascar vanilla bean paste that I got from Whole Foods. My instructor told us that we needed a little jar like this to hold our medium because it's better than having a big jar. I think because it evaporates if the jar is too big. And I could not find a tiny little jar anywhere. And so I bought this from Whole Foods. I took the vanilla bean paste and I put it into a plastic bag, and then now I'm using this. And it's great, it's fine, I love it. Finally, in my little bag, I have these two bulldog clips. They're helpful for, you know, clipping things onto the canvas, especially when you're painting on a board like this, it's essential. Honestly, I need more of these because I use them at home, I use them in class, and they're not very expensive. I don't know why I don't have more, but yeah, really helpful. That's all that's in this backpack. I actually carry around a little tote. Let me show you why. You'll understand when you see it. It just won't fit in this backpack. So in addition to hauling around that backpack, I also haul around this tote bag, which is the biggest tote bag that I own. And I'm sure maybe you can see the reason is because of this beautiful palette that I own and I paint off of most of the time. This is a New Wave palette, which is a brand that sells finished wood palettes. If you don't know, then most of the wood palettes that you buy at the art store are unfinished. If you use it and you put oil paint on it, the wood is going to soak up most of the oil paint. And what you have to do is you have to finish it or seal it with linseed oil. And that's a process that takes about 2 weeks because you have to oil it, you have to let it dry, and then you repeat. It takes about 2 weeks. When I started my oil painting class, the supply list wasn't online for some reason, and so I got it like the first day of class, and I didn't have time to finish my own palette, and honestly I was too scared to, and so I bought this from the art store. The way you use it is that you hold it kind of like this, and so, you know, you kind of, it's very like Bob Ross inspired, you know, it's giving Bob Ross. Funny story about this is that this is the wood palette for right-handed people, and the first time I bought this, I bought it for left-handed people. So I had to take it back to the art store. They were like, we can't take this back unless you still have the bag that it came in. So I fished it out of the trash. It had ice cream all over it. I wiped off the ice cream and I returned it. And I got this one. These are about $50. It's much cheaper to just finish your own palette, but time is of the essence. So the other thing that I keep in this little tote bag is my painting apron. I think every painter should have a little apron. This one is just from Blick. It kind of has a lot of paint spots on it. It's nothing fancy, it's just like a little denim apron, but I really like denim, so I really like this apron. Another thing that I keep in this little tote is my paintbrushes, specifically, okay, I don't know if you just saw that, but a paintbrush just flew out. Oh my God, this essentially just keeps all of my paintbrushes in here. When I first started painting and going to class, I would just keep all of my brushes loose in my backpack. And let me tell you, that's a quick way to mess up your brushes. Oh my God, don't do that. This cost like $4 at Blick. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner. It all comes down to like taking care of the supplies that you get and your brushes. Buy a brush case, do it sooner rather than later. It's also just nice to have like all of your brushes in one spot. I don't know. That is essentially my painting setup. It's not much, but it's what I got, and it's mobile, and I don't think I need really much else. Maybe like a maul stick, which is like something that helps you like steady your hand if you're painting something very delicate like an eye, but I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. I'm sure I will get one soon, but this is what I have. I think for beginners, it's really great and helpful. And if you're taking art classes, it's been really good for me for like 6 months now. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.